Captain William Snellgrave was a rancid second-generation slave trader, an anti-abolitionist, and admitted to some of the worst human rights abuses of the 18th century in his publications from his time as a slave trader in West Africa. So why was he such a strong advocate for treating his crews well? On board most ships in the Atlantic world, sailors routinely received rough treatment, with daily beatings and whippings being a common occurrence. Whippings? Alright. Pretty soon, those same sailors began to feel compassion toward other people who were being whipped and beaten daily on board the ships. The enslaved, right? For people like Snellgrave, who made all their money from human trafficking, this compassion was dangerous. It made sailors trust the enslaved and treat them like humans, instead of like cargo. This led to an increase in shipboard insurrections, which endangered ship captains' lives and their bottom lines. Snellgrave figured out that if you make the sailors the people doing the beatings, instead of the people taking a beating, that more slave voyages would end in financial success. Now, why is that important? Because this tactic was also how slavery was able to flourish in the Americas. Did you know that in the US South, fewer than 20% of households included enslaved people? These slaveholding elites convinced the poor whites around them, the other 80%, to go along with it by deputizing them to be the beaters instead of the beaten. In most slave states, any white person was expected to discipline enslaved people and to help hunt down anyone who self-emancipated. It was a way of making the white underclass important enough to support the system of slavery instead of joining with the slaves to fight it. People who created, supported, and maintained the industry of slavery built this world with intention. It was certainly not just the way things shook out, or just the way things were back then. It was how men like Snellgrave created them to be.